working with all the connectors we can. We're teamed up with a round 3 finalist called Uplift Solar that makes basically a like an in-phase inverter, but it's an embedded electronic device that provides constant feedback on the performance of the system. My name is Joe Biles, and I'm an aerospace engineer by trade. And then I learned about solar, and I said, this is fascinating, solid state, sun shines, electricity is produced, it couldn't be simpler. So I've been fascinated by solar. I love the Department of Energy and the American-made solar competitions. I was a finalist in round 1, and now I'm a finalist in round 2.
I'm originally from Canada, moved to Texas about 40 years ago. I'm a CPA up in Canada, and I grew up on a farm, so I've always been very interested in landscaping and getting back to the earth and all that kind of good stuff. So of course, the solar energy has always been fascinating. The Canadians have had farming original solar panels on their farms, and I think the government started subsidizing about 30 years ago.
So I'm Jordan Thompson. I'm CFO for the project, and I do have a quite interesting experience. I worked at in private equity capacity for several years, and then before that, I was actually with Deloitte and Touche LLP in their audit practice. So I have good experience in forming companies and looking to the future per se for needs and capital organization, and I'm here helping Joe and Bob bring this thing to fruition and get it going.
How did you come up with this solar innovation?
The light bulb went off when I have 25 patents, and one of my other solar patents is for a penetration-free residential solar installation system where you put it up on a rooftop, but you don't have to drill holes to do the penetrations. And so that's when I started working on the whole being able to cloak material so that it looks just like a patio paver, but lets light shine through. It's incredibly durable. It utilizes concrete and the solar panel itself and the clear material, which looks just like stone, and we could get a generating surface. What I found is the material that we're putting on top will actually bend light toward the panel, believe it or not, so that we're getting a boost from the bending of the light and the cooler operating temperature, so that we are about on par with a roof-mounted solar system.
For sure, we want to be confident things are going to work. We made enough bad concrete over the years to take it back and forth. Customers don't like it when something doesn't not what they expect. So that worked out. We've made a couple hundred. We used to make, back in the paving stuff, I made 1 billion paving stuff a year in the good years of the early 2000s. So we made a lot of product. And just getting it distributed to the depot stores and people's homes, direct to homeowners, was a job in itself.
We've all heard the narrative that it's cheaper to make it overseas, but I'm sure you want to manufacture it in America as well. What kind of challenges do you have to deal with in making soul pavers a reality to be able to make a profit in this country?
Yeah. I think that manufacturing is all about process. I think if we can get the right facility in the right place, we can get the right incentives in place, we can make it happen. And honestly, manufacturing, we want to see it come back, and it is in America, and it's never really left. When you look at, for example, shipping costs of transporting, for example, these 24 by 24 inch pavers overseas, that creates some real friction. So a lot of times, and what you're seeing in different areas of the market, is they're actually finding that it's getting to be a little bit more efficient to come back over and onshore to the U.S. And the key is to find the right facility in close proximity to your target market.
How has the innovation changed or evolved over the course of this challenge? Any tweaks you've made, or working with the American Made Network has given you ideas from collaborating with other companies, people, even potential customers?
We're working with all the connectors we can, and we've had some exciting developments. In fact, we're teamed up with a round 3 finalist called Uplift Solar that makes basically like an in-phase inverter, but it's an embedded electronic device that provides feedback to installers, whether they've got the solar panels hooked up correctly, and it gives them constant feedback on the performance of the system. So we're teaming up with them. They're sending us samples, and we, in our NREL testing, are doing SolPavers with their product, and they're testing. They are a finalist in round 3, so they're using their NREL vouchers to test Sun SolPavers with that. And there's another finalist in this round called TerraPave, who's come up with a what they call a green asphalt replacement, and basically they put it down to increase the albedo and prevent operation and maintenance for utility scale solars. Well, he was working with the University of Texas professor. I went to University of Texas, and he came and said, hey, look at this. If you want a alternative that could be greener than concrete, I'll give you some of my polymer and make up some samples. And we dropped them off at the factory. So in addition to our traditional concrete, we could have a lower impact green concrete in these final pavers made up. So, you know, I've been having the ball contacting and interacting with the other finalists in different rounds, and, you know, of course, dealing with the connector companies that we've been able to talk to.